There are neighborhoods that everyone knows about. There are neighborhoods that you, as a newcomer, or you who are thinking about relocating to the Asheville area, can easily find on Google, can easily find and look up information about. And then there are locals' favorite neighborhoods here in Asheville, North Carolina, that you might not realize that are out there, but locals here love them. And in this video, I'm going to be covering 4 of those hidden gems, 4 of those local favorites neighborhoods in Asheville, North Carolina that are kind of like best kept secret in the area. All these neighborhoods have some commonalities, such as all of these neighborhoods are very well established neighborhoods with homes, most of the homes that date back to early 1920s, 1940s, 60s. All of these neighborhoods have 0 HOA fees and they do not have covenants and restrictions. However, they do have this great sense of community that you can feel and all the locals know about. And of course, the differences are that they are all located in all the different parts of town and offer proximity to different set of amenities because of their location. So let's dive right into them. Royal Pines is located in Arden. Arden is located just south of Asheville. Think about downtown Asheville and then the South Asheville, and then Arden will be right below it, just south of it. Arden in itself is a very large area, very populated area with all kinds of amenities right there or in that proximity. Now, I have to say, if you were to Google Royal Pines, you will find that Royal Pines community as one big community also encompasses different other neighborhoods that may or may not have HOAs and may or may not have covenants and restrictions. But if you were to find, or if you were to look for a place to live and you were sorting by Royal Pines, for example, in MLS, it's gonna be not as large and the name of the community will be Royal Pines. It will not be anything else. And Royal Pines in itself does not have HOA fees and does not have covenants and restrictions. Smaller bungalow-style homes, ranch-style homes, cabins, smaller homes, smaller residences in Royal Pines date back to 1940s, 1990s, and there are, few newer homes that were being built in the last, 10, 20 years throughout Royal Pines. Just like there are pockets of new construction homes all throughout Western North Carolina. Here and there you will find new construction homes, maybe a cluster of new construction homes pretty much everywhere in all of the established neighborhoods in the Asheville area. And Royal Pines is not an exclusion. Median sales price in Royal Pines right now is in the high 300s. And so with that, if you're looking for something big, something grand, on a lot of acreage, you're probably not gonna find it right there in Royal Pines. Like I said, those houses are on the smaller side. Of course, there are exceptions, there are few exceptions, but for the most part, those houses will be smaller, on a smaller footprint. I mean, they will have, some of them have a decent yard, maybe like 1/4 of an acre or 1/3 of an acre. So this is what you can expect when you are shopping in Royal Pines. As you drive through the streets of Royal Pines, you will notice that generally there are no sidewalks, and some roads are more like through roads and some roads are more quiet with cul-de-sacs in where people walk their dog. Because it's such an established neighborhood, all these streets are just lined with mature trees, so it's a very pleasant ride, not talking about going for a walk there with the dog or with the family. You do have to be careful because there are no sidewalks. You just have to pick smaller roads to walk on. And it seems like it's been a great place for all kinds of people to find homes there. Because not only this neighborhood has this great sense of community, but also it is super close to all kinds of amenities that South Asheville has to offer. And I know South Asheville is not the favorite of a lot of people because it's, more on a generic side. There's a lot of chain restaurants or chain stores, big box stores, on Airport Road and stuff like that. But South Asheville has every single amenity. If you live in South Asheville, you would not need to go anywhere else to any other part of town unless you go for work or maybe like Sam's Club. That's probably like the only reason. Or we go to a Russian store in West Asheville. That's the only reason we leave South Asheville. Everything else is here. There are great public schools, there are charter schools, there are several private schools here in South Asheville, a ton of doctor's offices, urgent cares, a mission hospital just south of Asheville. Then there is Advent Health in Fletcher, Part D Hospital in Hendersonville. So in between 3 hospitals and a ton of urgent cares and doctor's offices, you will be, and all those other things that I just mentioned, you will be well taken care of. Now, the downside, of course, is that it is more congested. It is more populated for all those reasons that I just listed. And if you compare other parts of towns, you will notice that South Asheville is more congested. There is more traffic. Again, if you come in from a big city, if you come in from real city, for you it will be nothing, but give yourself a few years here and you will notice how much more traffic South Asheville Arden area has compared to other parts of towns. But that's for, you know, a good reason. You are super close to all kinds of amenities. Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack is an amazing place to go eat, and it is located pretty much right there in Royal Pines. It's just right across the street. You are probably going to be a minute, maybe 2 minutes away from Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack, and that place is amazing. If you've never been there and you want to test how spicy you can eat, you can do just that right there. It can be dangerous, so that's just a warning. Right behind Rocky's Hot Chicken Shack, there is a tennis court and there's a great playground. When my son was smaller, I used to take him there all the time. He loved it. It's a, again, very well-established playground with mature trees, so you're not baking in the sun, and it's just great. And it's located kind of in this valley with a lot of grassy area all around it, so you're not too close to busy roads where, you know, kids can run onto. And it just feels very quaint, like a very established neighborhood, like a very nice suburb without that negative suburb connotation that some people have in mind sometimes when, you know, I talk about, or when I mention suburbs. Bent Creek neighborhood is located just southwest of Asheville, although some people consider it a West Asheville neighborhood. To me, it is more like southwest Asheville neighborhood, but it is located just outside of Asheville city limits. With that, you will not have to pay Asheville city limit taxes on your property, so you will only pay county taxes, and that bill will be significantly lower for the same type of property if, you know, compared to Asheville city limits. So keep that in mind. This neighborhood also is very well established, and homes in Bent Creek date back to 1920s, 1940s, 1960s, and of course there are a handful of homes that were built in 2000s. Just like everywhere else, there's always a chance to find a brand new or newer home in all of those communities. Median sales price in Bent Creek right now is in the lower to mid 500s, so home prices are a little bit higher in Bent Creek, and there is a chance to find a bigger home than, for example, in Royal Pines right here in Bent Creek. Some homes have direct access to Bent Creek Community Park that has a playground, pavilion, basketball courts, and direct access to National Forest, the lake, and there's also a campground. When I think about Bent Creek, I think about people who, you know, outside the fact that some people might be close to where they work or close to where the kids go to school to, I think about people who are very outdoorsy, and this is why. Bent Creek neighborhood is right next door. I mean, it pretty much borders Bent Creek Experimental Forest, Arboretum, next goes Arboretum, and next goes Blue Ridge Parkway. And Bent Creek Experimental Forest is a huge area, and it's the area, and it's a place where all the local people who love specifically biking, mountain biking, and hiking go to. There are so many trails there. You will be lost if you do not have a little GPS on your bike. And so Bend Creek Experimental Forest is located in the northern tip of the Pisgah Ranger District of the Pisgah National Forest. Bordered by the Blue Ridge Parkway to the south and moderately high ridge to the north, this watershed is a federal research and demonstration forest. So you can learn more about forestry management techniques as you hike. This also means, however, that the forest is subject to research closures, so it is imperative for you to stay on the trail and out of the research areas. A campground, mountain lake, a family recreation area combined with its close proximity to the city of Asheville make this area very popular with tourists and locals alike. Yet, it is not as crowded as some may have you think. Plenty of miles of trails means the people will be spread out. Bend Creek neighborhood is also close to a ton of shopping and dining options. I mean, maybe not as much as you would in South Asheville or in the West Asheville or in some other parts of Asheville. And you're certainly not going to be able to walk to any of the dining or shopping from Bend Creek neighborhood, but it is in very close proximity. Asheville outlets, which I think now they are Tanger outlets. I think they bought them just recently, but to me, they're still Asheville outlets, are right there. There are some restaurants along the road, and it's a pretty close shot to the West Asheville. So if you want to go to some nice restaurant in West Asheville, you can just hop on the road and it's pretty much a straight shot and you will be right there in West Asheville. As well as downtown. It's, I want to say, maybe 15 minutes to downtown without traffic. So very close to everything that this region has to offer in terms of outdoors. Beverly Hills, not to confuse with the Beverly Hills of Asheville, is located in East Asheville. And if you know me, if you've been following me for a while, you know that East Asheville is my absolute favorite part of town, although now we live in South Asheville. But Beverly Hills is located in East Asheville and it is located in city limits. So you will pay both Asheville city taxes and Buncombe County taxes on your properties. But the location could not be better if you want to have this atmosphere of, you know, tranquility and like you are in a country club and you have all these mature trees and tree-lined streets and all those established homes, but you are literally minutes away from all kinds of amenities. But let's start from the beginning. Homes in Beverly Hills date back to early 1920s, 1940s, and of course, there are some newer homes that are also located in Beverly Hills. But for the most part, those would be older homes. And of course, some of them, you know, have been renovated, have been flipped, and they are just as good as new ones, sometimes even better. Some argue that older construction is way better quality than what they're doing right now these days. So here you go. You have the best of both worlds. Median sales price in Beverly Hills of Asheville is in the mid 500s. So it's a little higher than previous two neighborhoods that I talked about. But again, you have a prime location in East Asheville. Beverly Hills is a neighbor to Asheville Municipal Golf Course. In fact, it's not just the neighbor. The golf course kind of goes through the neighborhood, or some parts of it go through the neighborhood. And if you can see here on the map, you'll realize that that's what it is. That's the golf course right inside Beverly Hills neighborhood. Beverly Hills is also close to places like Western North Carolina Nature Center. That's one of our favorite places to go to with the kids. They have hiking trails, not, I mean, super hard or super long, but just enough for you to take the kids with you and you can look at the animals. They have some bears and cougars and otters and deer and some birds and some farm animals as well, and some shaded trails with a bunch of trees so you're not sweating, and also some playgrounds along the way. Blue Ridge Parkway is probably, again, I want to say 3, maybe 4 minutes away from Beverly Hills. It's right next door, so you can hop on the parkway and be on your way to all the scenic overlooks and hiking and biking again. And of course, all the shopping in East Asheville. I'm talking about Whole Foods, TJ Maxx, Asheville Mall, Lowe's, Target, all the big box stores, yes, but also, the convenience to all of these amenities. Super Walmart, Aldi are also within, I want to say, a minute or two from Beverly Hills. So it is super, super convenient to everything. Downtown, depending on where in Beverly Hills you live, is probably maybe 10 minutes from it. So it is located in East Asheville in the residential part of it, but it is super convenient to all the amenities that are located on the other kind of side of East Asheville. If you want to learn more about East Asheville, I have this video that I made a few years back. I'm going to put it right here and also in the description so you can refresh your memory about East Asheville and why East Asheville is my favorite part of town. And last but not least, Malin Hills. Malin Hills is located in West Asheville. In fact, it is located right next door to the West Asheville, and it is locals' favorite as well. Homes in Malin Hills also date back to 1920s, 1990s, and of course, a few new ones. Median sales price in Malin Hills is in the lower 500s right now. Homes there are not big, are not grand, so if you're looking for something big, that might not be the right place for you. In fact, none of these communities have these big estates and huge homes on a lot of land. They're more compact, situated close to each other, but have this very deep sense of community. Malin Hills is a historic neighborhood in Asheville, North Carolina. It's one of the first neighborhoods in Asheville. The history of Malin Hills is an amazing story of Asheville. The neighborhood was developed in two large phases from 1925 to 1926. Surprisingly, though, this was not the first large-scale development on this land, and Malin Hills almost never was. You can learn more about the history of Malin Hills if you're interested. I'm going to put the link down in the description, but let's move on. So Malin Hills also has Malin Hills pool, recreation area, and a playground. It is surrounded by these gorgeous mature trees, and it is very, very serene there. All the houses that surround and in Malin Hills, well, not 100% of them, but a lot of these houses are picture perfect. As you drive through the streets of Malin Hills, you will be amazed, and you would want to stop and take pictures of a lot of those houses because they're adorable. They look like they are from the book. And of course, because it is located in West Asheville, it has this super close proximity. I mean, you can walk. In fact, Malin Hills is the only neighborhood out of 4 that has sidewalks. Not everywhere, not 100% of the streets have sidewalks, but a lot of streets have sidewalks, and you can easily walk to the West Asheville, to Haywood Road, and all the amenities, all the restaurants, coffee shops, tattoo shops, bookstores. There's a police station, few churches. I mean, everything, all kinds of stuff that West Asheville has to offer. You can walk from Malin Hills there, no problem. If you're still confused about all these different neighborhoods that I'm talking about, reach out to me and my team. We'll be happy to walk you through the process of identifying what's gonna work best for you and your family based on your needs, based on your employment, based on maybe school, based on your interests, based on how close you want to certain amenities. We will be happy to do just that. Our contact information is down in the description, and I will see you next time.